Tonight we are looking at 7 whiskies that people might hate out of principle, a whiskey that creates controversy as soon as you mention the name. So sit back and relax, and welcome to the Whiskey Lovers Society with me, Gert Retief. 7 whiskies. Yep, you heard correct. 7 whiskies that is like a trigger word for quite a lot of whiskey enthusiasts. Maybe not for the people that might drink whiskey every 2-3 months, but I am a big fan of watching this live streams of all the nice YouTubers. Aquavite, Roy, I do like watching him every Thursday evening. Sometimes a little bit late for me, but it's always nice to hear all the good stories, the nice stories, and what's happening in the world of whiskey. But for me, the biggest draw card, of course, is the live chats. And yeah, it is just fantastic to hear all of the people enthusiastically discuss a whiskey until somebody drops that trigger word, mentioning a whiskey that falls in that category: love, hate, or I don't care. Most of the time, the love and the hate groups will then start discussing it while poor Roy is chatting away, giving his everything in that live stream. But you can see in that chat, there is people that will not always happy about that whiskey, and maybe there is some reason. Most of the time, it is the ABV, the pricing, and of course, yeah, people are not buying into that public relations whiskey anymore, and everybody has their opinion. So tonight we are looking at 7 whiskies that I have done some research on. Why do the people hate it? Why do the people love it? And of course, there must be a reason. So we are going to have a short video, hopefully, and we're going to talk about those whiskies. And of course, you're going to have to start off with that whiskey that everybody loves to hate. Well, not always everybody. I think I am in the love side. It's a whiskey that I loved for many years, so it's a very difficult situation for me, but I can also tell you I am done trying to defend them. Sometimes it's not always to defend a whiskey or a whiskey company that really takes the, well, you know what, out of us. And of course, I know a lot of people might know what I'm talking about already, and definitely Macallan is one of them. Now, I've loved Macallan for many, many years before I realized there is so much better whiskey out there. And I think that is, maybe that is the point when you reach and journey into your whiskey and you discover high ABV whiskey, you discover cheaper whiskey, high ABV whiskey with a little bit more years sometime, and then you look back and your whole perspective starts changing. When you look at the Macallan, the no age statement whiskies bottled at 40% ABV. In South Africa, we get 43%. In the US, you get 43%. You come here to Belgium and Europe, they knock you down to a 40% ABV, asking a premium price for that no age statement whiskey. If you look at the 12-year-old, my word, it is really getting expensive. And when I look at other 12-year-old whiskies that is available, sometimes a little higher ABV, moving into that 46% ABV, then I realize I've been really, well, I went to the racetrack and I put my money on the wrong horse. But they, of course, they have the public relations team that spent, from what I understood, one of the highest amount of money with all the industry players. They do spend a lot of money on their public relations, a lot of advertisements, and of course that brings in the people that might not buy every month. So yeah, they do sell the whiskies, they are not losing money. But when you mention Macallan in a live chat that this is the best whiskey ever, my word, you are going to get a lot of feedback on that. Just out the fact that they are overpriced, and they do the wordings on their bottles that tend to be maybe making some people not happy. The chill filtration, people are not a fan of that. And of course, that low ABV is definitely a killer for me and the enthusiast with all the live chats that I've seen. The next one on the list, and that is something that I do like, and I remember there was a couple of discussions not so long ago, and that was with regards to Johnnie Walker. Now, everybody loves or hates a Johnnie Walker Blue Label. I am one of those that kind of like it, but of course, then it comes to that pricing. Now, it is a no age statement whiskey, but it is not a young whiskey. It also had the problem of being a blended whiskey that for some people is already a trigger word. When you mention a blended whiskey and you mention the price, I've seen it going up to 350, almost 400 euros, sometimes at duty-free stores. Now, I know that is definitely not the place to go look for these whiskies. I'm sure you're going to find it cheaper somewhere else. But for me, that is a little bit ridiculous. Now, you have who's buying that. You have the gifts, the corporate gifts, Johnnie Walker Blue Label. Everybody knows about the Blue Label. Everybody are under the impression that it's the top notch. So you buy it for the boss that doesn't even really know anything about whiskies. You buy it as a corporate gift and everybody is happy, Johnnie Walker Blue Label. But if you mention this in a live chat, that this is the whiskey to have, well, definitely you're going to trigger a lot of people that saying you are just plain ridiculous. That amount of money for a blended whiskey is definitely not something that we pay for. But then again, if you go into a duty-free shop, they do move quite a lot. They're pushing it. It's always in the front. It is always have its own little bit of space, and I do see a lot of people taking it out of the doors. So definitely something, love them, hate them. What do you think? Is it something that you love? Is it something that you hate? Is it something that you've tried that you immediately say, I'm not going to buy that again? It's a pure ripoff. Please let me know in the comment. I would love to hear your opinion. And of course, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel grow. And hopefully we can reach that 3,000 before the end of the year. The next one on the list might also be a little bit controversial. I was not sure if I'm going to put this on, but it is one of those safe whiskies, and I think as a whiskey enthusiast and also people, well, all the enthusiasts all over the world, once you have started your journey and you're quite a long way into your journey, you might also then consider a love-hate or maybe not interested whiskey, and that whiskey for me is Glenfiddich 12-year-old. Now, it is that safe whiskey. It is that mass-produced whiskey. That is that chill filtration whiskey. That's the low ABV whiskey. That is a whiskey that you started the journey because it was cheap. You started the journey because you can find it everywhere. You can go into any pub, it's there. You can go to any store, it will be there. You can go to supermarkets, you will have it there. So once it's so pushed into the whole system, people then tend to say, I need more from my whiskey. And for that, I will put this 12-year-old Glenfiddich on the list. Maybe it's not the perfect example of love-hate, but I've seen the discussions with regards to that. Everybody needs more, and unfortunately Glenfiddich does do a little bit of a trigger, not always a huge tsunami of triggers, but something that people do discuss with two camps in mind. The next one on my list, and I am 100% sure a lot of you knew this was coming. It was one of those hate whiskies for me, a whiskey that I just could not understand, a whiskey that I do not understand why anybody would like to drink this whiskey until you get to a certain point in your journey. And of course, we're talking about Laphroaig 10-year-old, the original one. My word, that was a struggle for me. And I did wet this one over the last couple of years. The first time that I tried it, oh my word, it was a struggle. But that's something they say it's an acquired taste. Now, I did acquire some tasting with regards to peated whiskey. I start enjoying them when I also discovered the whiskies. And while I'm talking, this is one of the non-controversial whiskey, Lejek 10. Maybe I might just pour myself a wee dram of this peated whiskey, and just to wet the whistle while we're having this nice discussion. And please remember, comment, like comments, hate comments, tell me I'm stupid, but that means we can have that discussion. And this is really nice. Look, Lejek 10, the 18-year-old, they say is much better, but sometimes we cannot afford all of them. So, cheers. That is lovely. Whistle is wet. Now we can go on. Laphroaig. Over the years, I have tried it a couple of times. Every time if I do make a video on it, it's definitely not going to be making a lot of people happy. There's a lot of people that tells me, well, they started off, the first whiskey ever was a Laphroaig, and they were hooked. That is something that is unimaginable for me. How can you be hooked on that iodine, TCP, hospital tar, ashy note? Well, you can after a little bit of time. Now for me, I also discovered if you put a little bit of a sherry in a Laphroaig, that makes it even better for me. But mention Laphroaig on these live streams, and that is one big trigger word. It is like a red cloth to a bull. Immediately everybody will be on your case. Tell them you hate them or tell them you love that whiskey. There's going to be at least 20, 30, 40% of that chat is definitely going to respond to that comment that you made. It's not always a good thing to take sides on one of these live streams. You might end up being banned. Just saying. So but it's fun. It's fun to look at the camps and to see who loves and who hates a specific whiskey. The next one, also a peated whiskey that I see brings out a lot of controversial comments, and that is the Lagavulin 16 years old. And for me, it was most of the time price related. It seems that in some countries they are really being stupid. By here in Belgium, it went up over 100 euros, 120 euros. I see it came back now to the 90s. Unfortunately, in Belgium, we pay a lot of import duties and taxes. So it is just under 100 euros for that bottle for a 16-year-old. Quite expensive in my opinion. But I do see a lot of controversy around them. A lot of people also do that love-hate thing. Not much of I don't care. But it is a lovely whiskey. If you're into that peated whiskey, if you're into that iodine, TCP, hospital type of whiskey, that is definitely something that you would enjoy. But let me know, in which camp are you sitting in Lagavulin 16? Are you looking at that, I love it because of, and you tell me, or you hate it because of a specific reason? What is that reason for you? And of course, also something that's mentioned with Lagavulin is the batch inconsistency. A lot of people saying it's not the same. The boldness it used to have is no longer there. It feels a little bit watered down. It feels like it's not packing a punch anymore. What do you think? Do you think it's true, or do you think it is just in the mind? Two more whiskies. Springbank, one of them. Now, Springbank for me is purely about the price point. For me anyway. There's a lot of people that say the hype was created artificially. The fact that they do not have enough stock. A lot of the YouTubers, not me, not big enough, but the big channels are putting a huge hype on Springbank that creates a shortage of whiskey, that created a huge secondary market, people buying up everything that they can, and of course then pushing it on auction sites and secondary sites where we then pay that excessive amount for a no age statement whiskey, or a 12-year-old whiskey, or a 15-year-old whiskey, way higher that you would pay normally for that whiskey. Now, I do see in the last couple of months here in Belgium, it has become available, the 10-year-old and sometimes the 12-year-old, at not crazy prices. The 10-year-old, I paid about 85 euros for it. Bloody expensive still, but it seems at least we have a better stock control and we all get a little bit of an opportunity to try it. But the biggest issue that I've seen with regards to Springbank, of course, is that price point, and that sparks quite a lot of controversy. People would say, rather buy something else. This Lejeq is a perfect opportunity to try something a little bit on a smoky side, a little bit more mellow side, so not that Laphroaig type of hospital. This is so much more milder on the nose. And it is so lovely. The last one, and this is something that I do love. This is one of those love whiskies. And I'm talking about Octomore. I've tried quite a number of them. Can never afford the full bottle. It is just completely out of my price range for a very low, no age statement whiskey, 5 years old, and they're asking 140, 150, sometimes going up to 200 odd euros for a bottle of whiskey. Octomore is one of those whiskies that I love to hate. I love to drink it, but I will never buy it. And that is the biggest problem that I think they are facing. Not a lot of stock. I could be wrong, but I think due to this low stock, they can charge whatever they want, and we, the sheeps, will go out and we will buy it, happily spending that amount of money for a whiskey. Now, it's okay if you buy a bottle every 6 months or 2-3 bottles a year, then it might be a little bit affordable. But if you are an enthusiast and you have so much whiskey waiting for you to be drinking in the future, that controversy is way too much for me. And for me, it is a big no-no. It's a hate. But if somebody else wants to give me a bottle, I will be super impressed with that. Love Hate, it's the name of this show tonight. Let me know in the comment, what do you think? What whiskies is a trigger word for you? What whiskey, what distillery is a trigger word? And if you have a specific whiskey you want to discuss, please put it in a comment and tell me, why did you hate it? Why do you love it? And which side of the fight you will end up. So thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, share and subscribe. And thanks for all my subscribers in the last week. Wow, I had a good week. Loads of subscribers added to my base, and thank you very much for you. I really appreciate all the comments. So see you next time. Cheers.